Do you still do a lot of teaching and coaching yourself?
Unfortunately, I still do, and I've been
Why,
nagged at by my staff. No, Sumiko, you should stop coaching. You don't coach. You just manage from outside. But I can't. It's just me. You see,
It's a passion.
Yeah, it's the passion, and it's something that I really want to do. And for me, I believe in being there for the coaches, being there to do it with the coaches so that you can understand what are difficulties. Because if we are lost touch with the children, with the coaches for a long time, right? You can't understand the challenges that the coaches face.
I understand. Welcome to the One Day at a Time podcast, where we take things one day at a time. Today in the studio, we have Sumiko.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Sumiko. Okay, before I get into your career and what you do, I just wanted to ask you, your name is actually very unique. Is it a name that was given to you by your parents, or did you?
I changed name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that question like throughout my life, ever since I started studying and I could understand. It's my real name. My dad used to be a Japanese teacher. So he kind of like the Japanese culture, etc. So he gave me and my sisters, we all have Japanese names. So I'm like Sumiko, my sister is Yuko, and then the other is Jonko.
Wow, that's super cool, man. Does your dad still do that?
My dad, I think he stops. I'm not sure. I think past few years he still teaches Japanese language at community centers.
But he's a Singaporean.
He's a Singaporean.
Oh, that's
the only
so
person,
cool.
only sibling that doesn't have Japanese language, Japanese name is actually my brother, my elder brother.
Who is?
Perhaps my dad. I was thinking, perhaps my dad kind of like got influenced by Japanese culture after he had my brother, who's actually my elder brother.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so today we're here to talk a little bit more about what you do.
Okay.
Right. So you are a swimming instructor, a swim coach, right? So what exactly do you do as a swim coach? What does the job look like for you day to day?
Wow. Okay. Day-to-day basis, apart from teaching swimming, I teach from beginners, from as young as currently now, from as young as maybe 2.5-year-old, all the way to adults. So I have older clients who are actually like 72, 75-year-old. Yeah, so really there's a big range of it. Yeah, so my daily lessons consist of teaching private classes, and then on the weekends I actually do group classes. That ranges from 4 children to about 8, or sometimes can be up to 10 children in a class.
Oh, okay. So you do one-to-one and group classes
Yes, I
also?
do. Yes.
Okay, as I understand, you run your own swim school, right? So apart from running your own swim school, are there any other like swimming related projects you take on and things like that?
My company is actually taking on MOE swimming projects. If you know, during our younger days, we have those swimming classes that happens within the curriculum time.
I actually don't remember.
Okay, so like children these days are very fortunate. So MOE has actually launched this swimming program that is for children to embark on what we call like a swim safer syllabus. So my company is actually one of the vendors that manages these projects and provides services to these children during school hours as well as after school hours.
Wow, is this a compulsory program for students?
It's a highly encouraged program.
Okay.
Most schools would make it compulsory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but there are some difficulties, especially if they launch it after school and etc.
Right.
Children can't make it. But it is a very, very beneficial program.
It's mostly for primary school.
It's mostly for primary schools, yes.
well,
But there are certain secondary schools that currently embark on this program too. And we have also taken now some secondary schools also.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's very cool because swimming is a very essential skill lah. It's like it's a life skill, right? And once you learn, then you have it forever.
Hopefully.
I think so lah. I think so. And I don't recall this. I don't recall doing this in primary school. Not at all.
We're not so fortunate maybe back then. I think certain schools, back then our time, certain schools has the ability to sponsor students, have some subsidies here and there. But now it's more or less quite easy to get this going in the school.
Right. Okay. So, how long actually have you been a swimming instructor?
Ever since I was maybe 17-year-old, that's like,
wow.
Do I have to reveal my age?
You don't have to lah, but you already say, so you have
around
no choice.
20 odd years, yes, 20 odd.
Wow, two decades.
No, lesser than that. I'm not so old yet.
Okay, so like almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. Yeah.
Okay, so, almost 20 years of like teaching swimming and things like that. What do you think is the most, if you had to name like one favorite thing about your job, what would it be?
Seeing the children from really fear of water to being extremely confident.
Right,
I
able
think
to
that's like the
like the aha moment for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Especially some of my parents, clients, they call me maybe the swimming doctor.
Swimming doctor.
Yeah, like or a miracle doctor.
Right,
Yeah, I
right,
think
right.
that's something that keeps me going all the time.
Right, and you also work with a whole range of clients that ranges from kids from like 2+ years old all the way to 70+-year-old adults, right? What do you think teaching different demographics, different age groups, and different people with different kind of fear of water, like this such a diverse range, do you need to kind of approach them differently, or do you always
Definitely.
how do you do that?
Because if it's for really young age, you are not really teaching the children, especially if they're parent accompanied lessons. You're teaching the parent how to handle them. You're teaching the
Right.
bonding sessions with them. You're teaching a lot of different soft skills with these parents. Whereas we are moving on to maybe children's age, you're teaching them survival skills. And you can be direct with the children. You're also teaching them independence. Getting the children to do everything themselves, getting them to be more confident about themselves and trying new skills. It's like taking on challenges. And then when you move on into teaching adults, adults come to you with a different objective. I always ask the adults, why do you want to learn swimming at this age? I know they don't have opportunities back then when they're younger. And they all give me different answers, right? They have different objectives. So you have to be very careful and be very tactful, sensitive when you attack, your swimming lessons, and when you plan your swimming lessons for them, it's very different. That's why I guess as a swimming coach, if we teach such big range of children, right, we got to not only plan our lessons well, but I think to be constantly upgrading yourselves and challenging yourselves, I think that's very important, like, constant upgrade.
Right, right. So, like having taught, I would think like hundreds of students over the years, what do you think is the biggest challenge you face as a swimming instructor?
Biggest challenge? The PR. Because, different generations, right? So I think when we are so much younger, 20 years ago, we could teach like a huge number of students in a group. It could be 15 children. Sometimes I heard some coaches teach up to 18 children, 20 children.
Wow.
And the parents are more or less, oh, garang, let's go, go ahead.
Yeah.
Teacher, scold, never mind. It's okay.
Right, like that's last time lah.
Yeah, then now it's more like, okay, it's going to be difficult. 4? Wow, a lot. 4 in a group is quite a lot, for some parents.
Right.
So it might be very tactful and very sensitive. How do we put across what we understand and what we believe in, and to get them to come to consensus with us, to agree with us and to trust to get them to trust us with their child. I think that's very important.
Right. So actually people management
very,
right?
Very important, like the PR skills, people management,
Right,
and safety, and the children's behavior changes. The different generation, it changes across. Now children come to us with a little bit more difficulty when they start lessons. They can't seem to be able to have better coordination skills. They don't have more perseverance, I would guess so.
Do you think that it's because like these days, like we are quite fortunate, we live in a society where, like things are quite good.
Yeah.
And do you think that's the reason why
So.
right?
We call it ourselves a strawberry. Not my time, but we call ourselves like the current generation called strawberry generation, or what other generation do we call it?
I don't know but I'm a millennial lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I whatever you just shared seems to be the common song that a lot of teachers sing also, whether they teach swimming, tennis, tuition, or whatever.
I used to be a MOE teacher. So my background is a PE teacher.
I see.
So I really have seen the children
I see.
change along the way.
Okay, so then the question is, how did you kind of transition? So you started off your career as a MOE teacher.
I started off my first career as actually a MOE teacher.
Right. So how did you transition from being a MOE teacher to like to starting your own swim school?
I guess, I started teaching and coaching at the same time because I was an athlete to begin with, right? So swimming is like a second nature to me.
Okay.
Running is like a second nature to me. So everything just fall in place to become an MOE PE teacher.
Right.
And then I taught for a few years. I enjoyed my time in MOE. And then I challenged myself to move to ITE. So I actually went to ITE to lecture PE for a few years.
Oh, I didn't know IT had PE.
Yeah,
That's
have.
cool.
They
That's
do
cool.
have.
That's
They
cool.
have like a sports and wellness, like
Okay, I see.
program.
Yeah.
And it's compulsory actually in IT. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's something I didn't know. So
Right,
until
right,
I
right.
went in, and in IT, I actually took on 2 CCAs, and I grew it.
Mm.
Running, track and field, and
Right.
also swimming, which is like related to what I do, right?
Right.
And then because the swimming, when I took on swimming, I realized that my interest for swimming really grew from there. Because, in IT, it's actually very challenging to be building a big team. So I built the team from about 8 swimmers to around 89 swimmers or so in about 7 months.
Wow.
And they were all so motivated. So it got me moving, it got me thinking, what is next then?
Right.
And then, there are always challenges in our work, right? Here and there, we always challenge. So I made a few challenges in IT. And then I took a different route and I just left the service. And I went single-handedly just a freelance coach. That was when after I gave birth to my first child.
I see. Wow.
So you kind of want to have more time with your kid.
Right.
And then you wanted to perhaps take a little bit more time off,
Right.
think of what you want to do. So I just wanted to go back into swimming and see what I could build there. Because I was actually encouraged by my then client whose kids were learning swimming from me, and they were both teachers.
Oh.
So they were the ones that said, Sumiko, I think you can come out. Just come out and then start out your own.
Just try.
I think you can. And back then, they all say, freelance coach, can earn a lot of money, And I was like, okay lah, maybe I try.
Is that true?
It is true if you work very hard. So after I left the service and I came out, I actually coached 43 sessions a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is on average like 7 students a day?
No, it's 43 sessions a week.
43 sessions.
Sessions. So if you divide by 7,
Wow.
And each weekday, there's only a limited number of
Correct,
sessions you can teach.
Because people got school and stuff, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So you really pack your...
I packed. Yeah, so I went crazy. I coached a lot.
Of course.
And it was tiring, but it was very fulfilling.
But
because of my background from being a PE teacher, from being an educator, it really, really helped me to kind of understand children's behavior. So I put whatever I've learned from MOE, from IT, and I put it to the current setting I have now in my company, and it actually reaps a lot of benefits.
Yeah, but wow, 43 sessions a week is crazy, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I also teach in polys, and when I do like 7-8 classes a week, I already want to pengsan already.
Yes.
Is 43 is unimaginable. Just now you mentioned that you were athlete to begin with, right? So before you went into MOE, in what capacity were you an athlete?
I was primary school. Childhood time, I was actually a competitive swimmer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
started very young,
4-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still swimming now. So 4-year-old, and then I moved into switch over to running. In primary school.
Like a track and field type of thing?
Yeah, I was talent scouted. Actually, being a very lazy student, I didn't want to join a track and field event, but my primary school at that point of time had this very special event in track and field. Everybody that doesn't take part in any of the events have to go and jog like 2 rounds as a finale. So actually, I didn't know they were talent scouting for long distance students.
Oh.
So students who took part in 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, they all finished their events, and I was like, God, I just need to finish the 2 rounds, right? So I finished 2 rounds, and ironically, I got top 3, I think.
I see.
So I was talent scouted from there. So I continued running from there, and all the way I did running. I quit swimming quite early.
I see.
About secondary school time, I quit swimming. I started running all the way to secondary school. I took part, represented school, and then all the way until JC. And then I put in together at 18-year-old. I put swimming, running, and then somebody introduced me to the sport of triathlon.
I see.
Yeah, so that's how it got me into triathlon.
Okay, so these days, right? Do you still like do like your own like triathlon?
I
marathon?
still do actually. I just came back from Perth.
From a marathon triathlon?
It's a half Ironman.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, those are tough, man.
It's okay. Yeah, it's
for you
definitely tough. Yes, it's tough physically and mentally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but you based on kind of what you're describing, you've always had an inkling and an affinity towards like sports.
Yeah, definitely.
And things like that lah. Actually, I'm quite curious. I've never really asked swimming instructors this, but because you are in the water and in the sun, every day,
Yeah.
are you more prone to certain health conditions? Because sun is good, but like every day sun, and like chlorine,
Yeah.
like, have you experienced any certain like health conditions or anything because of that?
I've been told by my counterparts in swimming industry, my female, swimming coaches, Sumiko, you got to wear sunblock all the time. So I guess number one, the skin is definitely going to be not so well kept. Not so nice.
right.
I would love to have crystal clear skin, but we don't have the luxury to have that. Number two, I guess when you soak too long in the water, in Chinese feng shi.
Correct,
Some older
correct.
coaches say, Sumiko, you don't soak too long in the water. So now we try our best, but we still want to be very much engaging in the
Correct.
water. We don't. I personally would very much like to be in the water.
Yeah.
So we protect ourselves by wetsuit here and there. Wear thicker layers, thermal wear, and then if there's no need to be all the time in the water, then we don't go all the time. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes go down. But I guess because now the duration of the lessons are all right.
Okay.
So maximum you'll be in the water, maybe say 3 to 4 hours at a go. Then you just come up, and you keep yourself dry.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then I think chlorine, it does.
Right,
It does
yeah.
affect. And then your skin actually quite prone to having some rashes here.
Like
and
because
there.
it's dry.
Yes, it's very dry.
mm.
So I think just a few months ago, some of us had some rashes happening in all our necks here and there because of the
no.
condition of water.
Right.
It's actually not very good.
I see.
So we are subjected to all this.
Correct. Wow, so like the previous times when you were teaching 43 sessions a week, you were more in water than on land.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
Super
That's
crazy, right?
unthinkable.
Yeah, that's why I had like big hats, big hats with those like army style, cover up, then cover up.
Correct,
So some
correct.
coaches, I've seen some coaches really take good care of their skin. They wear hats, they wear sunglasses, and they wear these masks that cover up everything that they can only see their sunglasses, and then they even wear gloves and wear wet shoes.
So really like cover all the way on.
Fully covered it, and then
Yeah.
when they take it off, right, I can't recognize them because I would be like, oh, so you're the one, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I mean, but it's important to protect yourself.
It is actually
right?
very good to do that. But I tried it one time just the end of this year. I tried one time, and all my students started laughing. So my students like, "Wow, coaches, we cannot even see your smile, your face." I think sometimes it depends on the age of the children when you need to cover up. When you're teaching really young children, expression matters a lot. So we would choose not to do it to cover up if we are not required to.
Right.
Yeah, because if they see you smile, they should feel happier. And even younger ones, the babies, they this gestures actually and expressions very important. So we
Right.
don't. Yeah. So we are
Yeah, makes sense.
认命, in Chinese.
Yeah lah. It's it's the pros and cons of every career lah.
Correct.
So as a coach, right? Okay, so I remember going through like swimming lessons when I was younger also, and last time there was all your bronze, silver, gold star, then a bronze medallion or something like that, right?
Are you go and you do a bronze medallion?
Yeah, I did.
That's good.
I never passed, but I did until gold star. But bronze medallion I never passed lah. Therefore I just never continue.
Okay.
So is it still the same? Is the grading
It's
system still
similar,
the same?
but the syllabus has changed in such a way that it encourages children to, before we reach bronze, they kind of need to train pretty long. And there was like, long stretch of time before they reach bronze, right? Now they put in an extra 3 steps before that. So it's like stage 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then stage 4 is bronze. And then stage 5, silver, stage 6 is gold.
Oh, so cool. So that's cool. That's like a pre-bronze.
Yeah. But this is more difficult in such a way where the higher stage now has timing criteria.
Right.
Yeah, so in order to hit silver and gold, the silver has like 3 strokes, front crawl, breaststroke, backstroke, all have
right.
timing to reach. And if you can't hit one of the time, you can't pass.
I see. I honestly cannot remember how it was like, but I remember that we had to wear pajamas and then do the blowing thing. Is it still the same?
It is something along the line like blowing, like making a float. We do it in a gold stage, but we don't very much blow it. We do it in an army style.
Right.
Like pop, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of the same. The general syllabus still is the same lah.
Here and there, but they focus more on survival skills.
Okay.
Yeah, and swimming without goggles, all this, which is our old syllabus, we don't have that.
Correct. I don't remember doing that. I mean, I would hate to do that.
Yeah.
As a coach, what kind of certification do you need in order to kind of be certified as a coach?
Okay, so there are different certifications in Singapore. Let me talk about maybe my certification, which is what we call the NCAP, NROC.
Okay.
So my time we took the NCAP. Sorry, how do I put it? So NCAP refers to, there's a long name for it, right?
Yeah.
NCAP certifications allow us to coach at the public pools.
Okay.
Yes, and then now it's renamed to SG Coach Level 1. Yeah, so because of the different naming over the years. Yeah. So this kind of certifications allow us to coach at the public pool. On top of that, you must have your Swim Safer certification.
Okay.
Yeah. But some coaches who do not have these certifications, they can take certain certifications that are privatized.
Okay.
They can be called OSWIM. Some of them are international, so OSWIM, they can be STA, etc. But the coaches who have these certifications, they can actually only coach at the condominiums private houses, landed properties. Yeah. So coaches who have different kinds of certifications are eligible to coach at different venues. But our certification allows us to coach at all.
I see.
Yes.
So
In
it's
Singapore
more it's more recognized basically.
In the Singapore context, yes.
I see. Okay, okay. So if somebody were to say want to kind of follow this path down to be a swim coach, right? What would be the way to do it?
Sign up for, if you really want to be a coach that coach at public pools, you want to challenge yourself, this public pools can be very challenging. You sign up with Singapore, they rename it again, sorry. So Singapore Aquatics.
Okay.
Yeah. So they run a course and it's called SG Coach Level 1.
Okay.
So you sign up with them and you go through quite a rigorous selection and training. Actually, I'm one of the coach developers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm one of the coach
So you
coach
coach
developer.
swimming instructors also?
Yes, I do. Yeah. And then they go through maybe some hybrid program. Now we have hybrid, right? After COVID happens, everything's hybrid, right? So we have online and we also practical sessions.
I see.
Yeah, and then they have examinations.
Okay.
Paper. They also have practical examinations. They have attachments. After attachment, they also have another final kind of assessment.
Right.
Then
so quite intense.
It's quite intense.
I see. So it's not easy to just anyhow teach people swimming. It's really quite...
Yeah, in order to have our cert, you have to be able to swim proficiently 4 strokes, including butterfly.
Everything lah.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. Okay. So when someone actually gets this level 1 certification, then how do you sign up with a public pool to get your name listed on?
That's a good question.
How do you?
Once you are certified with SG Coach Level 1 practical certification, right? You or rather practical and theory, you register with NROC, which is controlled by Sport Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, so you register with them, and then your name will be published. Only if you have this, if you have OSWIM. I see. Unfortunately, they don't.
I see.
Yeah, because it's connected.
Got it.
Then after that, if you want to coach at public pools, that's up to you already. So you got to go and get your clients yourself.
Okay. So it's not like you get the cert, then you sign up for some registry, then people click and
they
kind of thing.
They can. So NROC will publish all our coaches' names as well as I think email addresses.
Okay.
In the website, and then parents who are keen, they will
scroll lah.
They will scroll, but. Somehow parents don't really go there and scroll now. Parents Google.
so it's almost like it's like private tuition lah. It's just that you're doing it in a public pool, right?
Yes.
So it's still up to you to come up with your own personal brand, your marketing and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like it's not easy. If someone kind of wants to do this and they get their certification, right? What would be your advice for them? How do you start getting your first client?
Okay, there are many ways to go about it. Some people do what we call referral program.
Okay.
Then they go online, Facebook pages. So sometimes they take some referrals from there. I don't do referrals, and I don't also provide referrals. For me, if I have a client that I can't take on, I will just pass it on to a friend that I trust. But I think fair enough. Some coaches come out, they are very young. They are new in this industry. They need connections. They need someone to refer to them. There's nothing wrong to get, these referrals to start out their career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the other way is to join swim schools.
Right.
That could give you an income that could be slightly lower than what you could have earned as a private coach.
Right.
But joining swim schools means that they would more or less manage the client for you.
Got it.
Then you can be there stationed for 3 hours and you just have no headache. You just coach all the way.
I see. Okay, so it's really like you join a tuition center as a teacher versus you do
Yeah,
the private tuition lah.
exactly,
It's the same thing
exactly
lah.
the same thing. Correct.
Okay, so for you personally, you run a swim school, right? You started out as a private coach freelancer. Then after you started a swim school.
Yeah.
So does this mean that you also manage other coaches?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I see. I see. So
my current coaches, we have about 22 with us.
wow,
It's
that's a
our
lot.
own-
That's a lot of coaches.
Then for the projects wise, we have close to 200 coaches there.
Wow,
for
that's
projects,
a lot.
for projects, yes.
Okay, so now that you have so-called people to manage, coaches to manage, do you still do a lot of teaching and coaching yourself?
Unfortunately, I still do, and I've been
Why,
nagged at by my staff. No, Sumiko, you should stop coaching. You don't coach. You just manage from outside. But I can't. It's just me. You see,
It's a passion.
Yeah, it's the
lah.
passion, and it's something that I really want to do. And for me, I believe in being there for the coaches, being there to do it with the coaches so that you can understand what are difficulties. Because if we have been lost touch, if we are lost touch with the children, with the coaches for a long time, right? You can't understand the challenges that the coaches face.
Understand.
Yeah.
Understand.
So when they tell me they are experiencing this and this, and I can give the best advice to them. Yeah. And I think that figure of me being in the water and being with the children, the parents see it in a different view also.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Like once you stop doing it, then you lose the PR lah, right? You cannot connect with people.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I see.
And I love I love children. I mean I love to see children improve,
Right.
and attaining skills. So I cannot get out. But I do make a point for the last 2 years, me and my husband made a point to stop coaching maybe 2 times a week, 2 weekdays a week. Yeah. Actually, it's supposed to be for family time, but then the 2 days became administration time.
Also, your husband also coach.
My husband is in my company.
Oh,
together.
see, so family business lah.
He joined me about 2 years after I started this company.
I see.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
he has been coaching longer than me actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, so you kind of share similar. You have like shared experience lah. You can. It's kind of easier to connect with each other also, right?
Yeah, it is easier. Yeah, and because as being a swimming coach, your weekends are totally burned. So imagine if one spouse it's burned weekends and the other
Right.
spouse is. So it's quite difficult to get
Yeah.
time together as a family.
Yeah.
So at least he understands. He totally understands my difficulties also.
Yeah. I think that is very helpful. Okay, so I honestly have no idea how much swimming lessons cost these days because I mean it's been a while. So how much do swimming lessons cost these days?
Okay, so swimming lessons cost average now in a public pool, group classes, big group classes is about $100 and above
Per month?
per month.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's
so
not too
about
bad.
like a $20+ per lesson.
Yes, it depends. It depends. Some swimming schools are already raising it to maybe 120, 140 per month. Yeah, and up for group classes.
I see.
Private classes can cost average a month 340
Right.
if it's 1-to-1 and up.
Right. So like a $60-70 odd dollars per lesson type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a PT, right?
Right. Oh, that's not. It's not too bad. I thought it might be a lot more expensive
But
for
they are
private
subjected
classes.
to rain.
Oh yeah. So wait. So if it rains, then they still pay, is it?
So it depends on the terms and conditions of every school.
Oh.
So luckily some swimming pools, they have those sheltered ones, right? That allow the lessons to continue. Some sheltered ones don't allow. That one we have no problems. But unfortunately, sometimes coaches has to conduct dryland lessons because they are already there. The children are already there.
Right.
So it's like an opportunity.
So might as well you have to do something lah.
Yes. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Sumiko. I think it's a very insightful experience. I think a lot of people, Asians like Singaporeans, we all go for swimming lessons one. Like most of my friends know how to swim, go for swimming lessons, but we don't really think from the perspective of a swim coach lah. Because we just go and attend swim, splash. Then after that we get our whatever, then we move on in life, right? Yeah. So I think this is very insightful. If somebody wants to kind of learn swimming with your swim school or wants to become a swim coach, right, and they are keen to connect with you, where can they find you online?
You can Google or you can find me on Facebook. Sttitude Swim School. It's quite difficult to pronounce, but
right.
if you pronounce the word attitude like a good attitude,
right.
You
You can
change
show
the A,
your logo on your shirt, right?
You can change the A to S. So it's like Sttitude Swim School, and then you can find us on Facebook.
Nice.
Or
nice.
just Google us.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing,
you.
Sumiko. And we'll see you next time on the One Day at a Time podcast. Peace.